This is going to be a supply and demand example showing how a price ceiling will affect the equilibrium price and shortages and surpluses in a particular market. In the winter of 1973 and 1974, a general system of wage and price controls, including a price ceiling on gasoline, was in force in the United States. So if we assume that this is the market for gasoline in the United States in 1973, we have a downward sloping demand curve for gasoline, and we have our upward sloping supply of gasoline. And of course we know the equilibrium is where the supply and demand curves cross. And so let's assume for the moment that the equilibrium price of gasoline in 1973 was 50 cents per gallon, and the equilibrium quantity of gasoline was Q naught, however many millions of gallons that might be. Now what ended up happening was when the government installed the price ceiling for gasoline, and let's just put that right here, that is PC, and let's just install the price ceiling at $1. Now I'm going to go and draw a solid line all the way across this graph, because this price ceiling denotes that any price below $1 is okay, but any price over $1 is simply not allowed in the market. So this clearly shows that at the price ceiling of $1, given the supply and demand conditions prevailing in 1973, that this was what we call either a non-binding or a non-effective price ceiling, because the price of 50 cents per gallon was in fact allowed to prevail in the market. But then what happened in early 1974 was that some of the oil-producing countries imposed an oil embargo on the West. Now, essentially, oil is an input to the production of gasoline. And so what would happen is the supply curve for gasoline would shift back into the left, or there would be a decrease in the supply of gasoline. And what would happen then, if the price ceiling were not in place, is that the price would have gone all the way up to, let's call it P1 of $1.50 per gallon. But because the price was capped at $1 per gallon, that price was not allowed to prevail in the market. So here, where our demand curve touches our price ceiling, that would be how much buyers are willing and able to buy of gasoline, our quantity demanded. And then here, where the new supply curve touches the price ceiling, would be the amount that sellers would be willing and able to sell. So in this case, you notice the quantity that's being demanded of gasoline is greater than the quantity supplied, so therefore you have a shortage in this particular market. Now also what happened in the early part of 1974 is that the U.S. government took away the price ceiling, so it was no longer capped at $1. So again, if this is our demand curve, and this was our new supply curve after the oil embargo happened, then we would, and here's our original supply curve, then we would have started at the price of 50 cents per gallon. So there's our initial price, and there's our initial quantity. But you notice without the price ceiling, now we're allowed to achieve a new equilibrium that is much higher than what it was before, of $1.50 per gallon. Now remember though, as when that price ceiling went away, so did the shortage, and we were allowed to come to a new equilibrium where the quantity demanded was equal to the quantity supplied. So not only did the price in the market go up, but we came to a new equilibrium quantity which was less than what we had before.